Alright, I just won this eBay auction for 19 cameras that should be in this box for only $20. Even after taxes and shipping, this comes out to $1.78 per camera in this box. Now, I have no idea what to expect. The description on this listing pretty much said most of these haven't been tested, some of them are broken, some of them aren't. Some have batteries, some don't. And so that's pretty much all I know about this, but it looked like there was a pretty big variety of different types of cameras. It looked like pretty much anything from digital cameras to vintage film cameras, camcorders, and even a Canon DSLR in here, which I'm excited to find out if it works. And so I'm gonna pull all these cameras out, take a look at all of them, see what type of condition they're in. And then for any of the digital cameras that look like they might work, I'm gonna go ahead and just order some batteries. We'll test them all out, see if they work, and then at the end, we'll find out if this box was worth it, if we got anything useful for only $20 out of this box. Either way, let's get this thing opened up and see what we got. All right, always like to see bubble wrap. Sometimes these packages aren't packaged this well. Okay, maybe not as good of a sign as I thought, actually. Wow, okay. So that's all the cameras right there. 19 cameras in here. All right, I'm just gonna slide this over and we'll start pulling these out one by one. All right, here we go. Camera number one is this JVC camcorder. Now it looks like it's a DV camcorder. All right, so it's the JVC GR DVL 367EG. It definitely looks like it's from the early 2000s. What kind of SD card? It does take standard SD cards, it looks like. And actually, that looks a little different than a normal SD card. JVC multimedia card, it looks like. This is an 8 megabyte card. If this was 8 gigabytes, I still would have thought it's a pretty small card, but 8 megabytes is pretty crazy. This has got to be really early 2000s. All right, I'm gonna have to look into this one a little bit more and figure out what type of media this uses. If it uses like mini DV tapes or something like that, I probably won't be doing too much testing on this because I won't really be able to utilize that. Let's see what else we got in here. All right, next up we got a Nikon Coolpix. So this looks, I mean, not in terrible condition. The screen's a little scuffed up. See if it powers on. No, it didn't think so. This uses AA's. And it's got an SD card in there. This is a Nikon Coolpix L26. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab some AA batteries and we'll test this thing out. Here we go, the moment of truth. Hey, all right, that powered on. Ooh, hold up. Oh, lens error. It tried to extend the lens and it sounded pretty bad. It sounded pretty messed up in there. So there's definitely something wrong with this lens motor that extends it out or something in there. Okay, one more test and we'll move on to the next camera. Let's see if we can shift this back in place a little bit. Okay, we did get it open up a little bit more, but I think this one might be a little bit of a lost cause. All right, what do we got next? A Kodak EasyShare Z812 IS. Also, it looks like it's in, I mean, pretty decent condition. Like, I wouldn't expect this to be broken, I guess, unless it's something internal like on the last one. It's looking pretty clean. This right side actually is a little sticky. It looks a little weird. All right, let's see if this is AA's as well. Kind of looks like a proprietary battery, but it also looks like it's a similar size to two AA's. So let's just see what happens here. It might be like cross compatible. Oh, it's already in the on position, so that's not a good sign, but let's turn it off, back on. Yeah, power's on for like just a second, and then the front of the lens moves just a little bit. Like the smallest amount. All these batteries should be full, but I guess let's try that just to be safe. So some new batteries. It works. Okay, I think it was my batteries, because it seems to be working fine now. Kodak EasyShare Z812 IS works as well. Let's grab the next one. All right, next up, a Kodak EasyShare DX7440. So this is a 4 megapixel digital camera here. Doesn't look like it's in terrible condition. There's some scuffs and some wear on it. This is actually kind of a cool mode dial. Check this out. So it's right where the normal thumb dial would be. You know, the mode dial is usually right up here on the top. But look at that, you just push on this button to unlock it, and you just rotate all the different modes with your thumb there. So what else we got? Power input, AV out. It's got a battery in it. Let's see if it powers up. Let's do manual. I actually don't see a power button on this. Oh, well, it looks like the mode dial doubles as a power switch. I'm guessing that's off and then you put it anywhere else and it just turns it on. So I'm gonna say the battery's dead. This is another one that I'll have to see what the value of this is in working conditions, see if it's worth it to order up a battery to test it. But yeah, let's grab the next one. All right, so it turns out I have the right DC barrel jack for this. And as you can see, this one works perfect as well. Now the only thing is it only works with this plugged in. I don't know if it either doesn't charge the battery or if the internal battery is just completely shot. But I even had this plugged in overnight and then tried unplugging it and turning it on, and there was absolutely no power. And this is such an old camera anyways that my guess is the battery is just completely shot. But I'm gonna keep this one and probably order up a battery for it because I actually want to get some use out of this one. It's pretty neat. So that's the quick update on this one, but let's move on to the next one. What do we got here? This looks like a vintage film camera, and this one's pretty beat up. Oh yeah, look at that. It's a little nasty in the battery slot. Door's a little broken. This is a Canon Sure Shot. I mean, it looks pretty clean inside there. But this one, yeah, I don't really have any film, so I can't really test out these film cameras, sadly. It's something I'm definitely gonna have to get into. So yeah, we'll just grab the next one. All right, next up, this is a big one. All right, this is an old vintage Sony camcorder. Now this definitely uses, oh, it's a little broken, but this definitely uses, you know, DV tapes. I don't know the exact name for them. Yeah, so this is a Sony CCD TR61 camcorder. Oh. It's not powering on at all. So the battery is definitely dead on this. I'm gonna say this one's probably a lost cause as well. I mean, I might be able to sell it for parts, but let's grab the next one. All right, let's see. We got a couple digital point and shoot cameras. This one's a Kodak 10 megapixel M1033. This one does have a battery in it and an SD card. Battery's either dead or it's just non-functional. I guess with all these that might power up with a battery, I'm just gonna probably look them up and see if it's worth it for me to actually spend the money on the battery to see if they work. All right, so this one has a battery, but it won't turn on or anything, so I'm guessing the battery's completely dead. But it does have this 5-volt DC input jack that I happen to have the perfect size, you know, barrel jack for. So let's plug this in and hope it either charges the battery or at least will allow us to power this on and see if it works. Look at that. Powered right up. All right, reset date and time. All right, zoom works fine. It looks like autofocus works fine as well. All right, this is 720p footage on this, what is it, Kodak M1033. That's a really, really dirty lens, but there we go. Another camera fully working. Let's check out the next one. And right here we got a GE E1480W. And there's no battery, no SD card in here. So yeah, this one, just the fact that this is still extended makes me think something happened while the battery was in this or while it was running. So this one I might not really bother with, especially depending on the value of it for a GE camera like this. So let's grab the next one out of there. All right, we got a couple more digital point and shoots. This one looks pretty neat. This looks like one of those waterproof, like underwater cameras. So first of all, we got a Sony CyberShot 12.1 megapixel DSC S2100. Now, condition-wise, this one's pretty beat up, pretty scuffed up and everything, but I don't see any damage on it. And there's no batteries, but it looks like AA's. So we got AA's, let's test this one out. And then no SD card in this one either. It's also pretty crusty in there. This one, it almost looks like there was at one point some moisture in there, but of course we're gonna try it anyways. Yeah, nothing out of this one either. So what brand is this? 24 megapixels. All right, I'm not seeing a brand. I'm guessing this is those like brandless cameras you can pick up on Amazon. See if we can open this up or turn it on or anything. Yeah, so it's got a battery. It's not powering up. It looks like I can plug it in with micro USB. So I'll probably try plugging it in and see if I can charge it and get this one working as well. All right, this one just powered right on. All right, I'm actually gonna throw an SD card in this and try to record real quick. All right, SD card's in. It says card error, but let's probably just need to format it. As soon as I boot it up, it says card error, but I can't even get to the menu to format the card real quick because once the card error pops up, it won't let me do a single thing. It won't let me press a button, it won't let me do anything. It just kind of stops the camera with a card error screen. Okay, I'm just gonna format this card on my computer, and then hopefully the next thing you'll see is me vlogging with this. Unfortunately, I've tried formatting this card in a bunch of different ways on my computer, on different cameras and everything, and every time I power this on, card error just shows up, takes up the whole screen. I can't press a button, I can't do anything else on the camera. And even does this with other micro SD cards, so I think there's some bigger issue in this camera. But unfortunately, it looks like this waterproof camera is gonna make its way in the broken pile. All right, next up, we got ourselves a DSLR. So this is a Canon Digital Rebel. Now I actually owned this camera a couple years ago. I got some great photos out of it. Obviously not this exact one, but the same model of camera. Let's see, yeah, this is looking a little bit rough. So that's kind of all gross on this side. Looks like this cover is ripped off there. There's obviously no body cap, so anything could have really gotten inside of there. Quite a bit of dust in there. And it looks like the grip isn't, yeah, that's not in the best condition either. It's kind of degrading a little bit and getting a little sticky. Yeah, so I'll have to see if I got a battery laying around for this, and we'll test it out with the rest of them at the end. So this is really the one I'm most excited and hopeful that it's gonna work. I got a battery for it. I got, of course, a lens to throw on it. So let's go ahead and throw all these on and test it out. Okay, they kind of went in a little rough. Error 2, it says. All right, let's see what that is. Oh, the camera cannot access the memory card. I went to go format it, and it says there's no CF card. You know, it did kind of feel a little weird putting it in there. Actually, I'm gonna look at these pins real quick. You know what? I see what looks like 3 bent pins and possibly a missing pin. I don't know if that's supposed to be missing. It's like right in the center. But it looks like on one of the sides, it looks like 3 bent pins. That's probably why it was kind of weird putting it in. I'll have to find the smallest little thing I can to get in there and try to bend those pins back. But I'm definitely not an expert at any of this stuff or any type of electronics repair, so I'll do the best I can, but let's mess with it anyways and see what we can do. All right, so you can kind of see this bent pin right here. That one's really bent. And there's also this other one right up above it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and try to bend those back with this screwdriver here. Alright, unfortunately, the first time I put that card in, it fully broke off one of those pins at the bottom there. So it looks like this Canon Digital Rebel is going to be a lost cause. That's really unfortunate. I was really hoping to get the only DSLR in this box working, but unfortunately, we're going to have to move on to the next one. Alright, this is a big one. Alright, this is a Sharp Hi8 camera, so it looks like it doesn't just record to memory cards. It's not a fully digital camera, it doesn't look like. Well, this is the Sharp VLAH50U. Oh, you can even flip it around, so you can do like the full 180 selfie, but this whole mechanism flips around there. That is crazy. It looks like the zoom trigger there is snapped off. There's just that little piece there that I can use. That opens up. It looks like the Hi8 cassettes just go right in there. That one's really neat. It doesn't look like it's powering up or anything. And yeah, again, I don't really have a use for this, so I probably won't be buying any batteries or, you know, Hi8 cassettes to test this. But this thing is really unique. I kind of want to know when this came out. My guess would be probably late 90s for this. But again, that's pretty cool. Let's move on to the next one though. All right, we got a couple camcorders. These are both digital camcorders. We got a JVC Averio MS110BU. Now this one doesn't have a battery with it, but it looks like it's in pretty decent condition. And then also a Panasonic SDR S50. So we got a Panasonic camcorder as well. This one looks a little bit more beat up, but not damaged or anything. But besides that, this one also seems like it would probably work fine with the battery. All right, here we go. I got a DC barrel jack to test this one out. There's no battery, but I'm hoping it'll still power up with just the DC input. All right, that's plugged in. Power bank is full. Look at that. Perfect. They're not lying with this 78x zoom right here. That zooms in so far. Let's do high picture quality, 16:9. I'm not sure what resolution. All right, let's test this with an SD card. There we go, this is the Panasonic S50R. Hopefully you can hear me right now. I mean, this is definitely a really old camcorder, but it's still kind of neat, and that 78x zoom is pretty crazy to play around with. But it looks like another fully working camera, just missing a battery and charger. I'm not sure how much those are if I just bought them third party on Amazon, but that might not be a bad idea for this one. Either way, let's move on to the next one. What is this? A Fuji 1000 zoom, a Fuji Discovery 1000 zoom. This is a 35mm point and shoot film camera. So again, I don't really have the means to test these out. Yeah, it's dusty inside and everything, but that doesn't look like it's in too bad a condition. There's no film in there. See if there's a battery. Nope, no batteries in there either. And then also, this was pretty beat up. Whatever that stuff is, that dial's broken off. I thought this was a digital camera, but actually, Yeah, this is a tiny little film camera. SureShot Z180U, it looks like. Yeah, this thing really does look like it rolled down a hill or something. There's just so many scuffs on every single side of this. All right, a few more. Let's pull these out real quick. There we go, 3 more things. First of all, we got this JVC camcorder, but this is a blocky camcorder. Okay, this is the JVC DA30U. It's kind of interesting. So the screen's on the very back right there, rather than flipping out from the side like normal camcorders. Wait, hold up. Okay, that's kind of cool. So if you want to get like a lower, higher angle, the screen literally like slides. Okay, the battery goes on the side where the screen normally is, and there's no battery in there. Whoa, that's got like DV tapes as well. So it also looks like I probably won't be able to fully test this one, but this thing's neat. That screen is crazy. I've never seen a screen on a camera like that. All right, next up, this is a Kodak EasyShare C340. This is just a tiny little digital point and shoot, it looks like. Yeah, 5 megapixels. This one's a little bit beat up, but I would imagine this one would work with, you know, a battery in it. Battery terminals look pretty good. And let's go video mode. Zooming in works, zooming out works. I took a picture, power's on, the flash works, the zoom works, all the buttons seem to work. There we go. Let's move on to the next one. And then lastly, we got this right here, a flip video camera, and this one, that one's a little bit beat up and dirty, but yeah, this is okay, it's a flip. I don't know the exact model. I know there's different models of these. All right, let's see. Power button, let's try to turn this thing on. Nothing. So this is another one. I'll have to see if it has an internal battery, if there's replaceable batteries in this. I'll try to charge it up and see if this one works as well. That's the final thing in here. This box is empty, except for a broken piece off one of them. All right, let's plug this in. At least it, you know, powers up and shows that it's connected to USB. It doesn't power on when I hold the power button, but it connects to the USB. I don't know if it doesn't charge or if it just is charging but the battery's completely dead. But I guess there's no other way to remove or even charge the battery as far as I can tell. So I'm just gonna go plug this in and then keep it plugged in for a while and see if it'll power on after that. All right, unfortunately, I've had this plugged in for a while and it just doesn't look like it has any signs of life once I unplug it. So I don't know if the internal battery is just completely shot or something like that, but unfortunately, I think I'm gonna call out on this one. It doesn't seem to be functioning at all for me. All right, so out of these 19 cameras, 14 of them are non-functional or untested for one reason or another. And we got 5 of these cameras fully working. Now I still have to order a couple batteries and chargers for these. But overall, I still think this was a success. But that's it for me. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.